It's a cool rocket ship. Yeah. Sounds good. Hello. What's going on, everybody? Emoto's fixing your mic real quick, so I'm going to do the intro. Welcome to PinTech Live. I'm taking over, baby. Was that right? Episode 158? That's amazing. Chat, help us out. I can hear you, but that's through Zoom, so that doesn't count. Can the internet hear you? That's the big question. Tree Farmer says no. Yeah, give them the good one. Sure. Hello. Hello, everybody. I'm Jeff. I do streaming under the name Dirty Pool Pinball. Yeah, the channel started about a year ago, and in that time, I have been blessed with having a bunch of cool people help support and grow the channel. And now I work in the pinball industry doing music and sound design.
Yay! We're so excited.
Yay!
It's really, we're kind of late to the stream because we were chatting about, you know, the different industries we work in and catching up, and we were kind of like ships in the night when I lived in LA, and we were both in the Ace Gogi League, but at slightly different times, maybe at the same time. We're
and
both
lived
claiming
in like similar area
oh,
and like
lived
knew
in the
very
same
similar
apartment
people.
complex.
Yeah, it's wild how, I don't know, yeah, like the crossover between our early 2000s is kind of disturbing.
Yeah, it was so close to meet. But when you kind of came back into pinball, when I started seeing Dirty Pool Pinball, I was like, oh yeah, this guy's in my league and he looks like a creative. He looks like he's in, you know, the film and movie industry, like I am. And you started your podcast, and I'd love to know more about like the content that you push out with your podcast and your live streaming. For those
Yeah, for sure.
of you are not familiar with Dirty Pool Pinball, check out his content on YouTube. Last night, was it last night? The night before,
Yeah.
you did an interview with Scott Denisi, and
Scott
it was
Denisi.
so much fun. I was at work at the arcade, and I had you guys playing, and it was a great conversation, and I love watching y'all like geek out over music and stuff too, and pinball, of course.
Thank you.
So it's really, you came back into this community just like full blast and just sharing and creating, and it's super awesome. So tell us more about that.
Thank you very much. It's funny, Scott also, like TNA was like the first game I played at Ace Gogi in League when I got back into League. Shane had TNA still in the corner there next to the bar, and yeah, it handed my ass to me because that's what TNA does. Yes. Scott said something really important when I talked to him yesterday, and he was talking about how the people that are trying to get into pinball, like you just have to love it and create like kind of honest content. I forget exactly how he phrased it. And yeah, I don't know. That's kind of where I was at. Like I made a custom sound kit for Twilight Zone, and I was like, I want to show this off. And I was trying to figure out how to film it at like an angle. It looked like shit. And eventually I was just like, maybe I should stream. People were in League were like, you should definitely start a stream. Shout out to Melody. She was probably one of the ones that was harassing me the most to do it. And, you know, and I've been watching Papa and Bowen and, you know, Keith and his brother streaming for decades. Yeah. So, but I just didn't want to be a personality. I didn't want to be like, you know, a streamer. But there was just no other way to show off the work. And I really liked what I had done with Twilight Zone. I got a pin sound board. Shout out to the two French bros, pin sound guys, super cool
Yeah.
dudes.
One of my
Yeah,
meetings this morning was with Nicholas from Pin
there
Sound.
you go.
Join us at Texas Pinball Festival, everyone, by the way. We're all planning really strong right now for that show. So it's going to be
Awesome. I
exciting.
will also be at TPF. Looking forward to
Really?
it. It
Yeah.
is the second show I will be going to. Expo was the first one now that I'm like, into pinball now, but I've heard TPF is pretty good. Although there's a lot of, tell me what's up with the beef here. People are saying that like pinball at the beach is like the new TPF. Like what's what's going on here?
Do you want the long story or the short story? Um,
Both? Yeah.
so there's no beef. The
Okay.
historical relevance between a Texas show and a Florida show at two different times of the year is that Ed and Kim Vanderveen used to be some of the founders and show organizers of Texas Pinball Festival.
Gotcha.
They retired from Texas Pinball Festival after 30 or something plus years of community service, for pinball,
Right.
and decided to move to the beach. They love hanging out at the beach. So they're out in Florida, and wanted to create a beach show at a resort where they can hang out at the beach and smoke cigars and then come back in their flip-flops and play some pinball. That
Right.
was their
This sounds very
retirement
different.
dream, right? So
Right. Yeah.
they created Pinball at the Beach, and it's awesome. And through the decades of meeting all the people in the community and industry, they've made lots of awesome relationships. So what makes Pinball at the Beach very special is you are in this resort world environment. There's the giant pool with the floating bar and the lazy river. Your hotel looks out onto the ocean, and it's an exclusive event where they're limiting tickets because they don't want it to be a huge event. They want it to be an event just for pinball people to enjoy pinball together. So it's almost like a summer
Sure.
camp in February. Also, what else
Okay.
better time to get out of your snowy areas like Chicago and the Pacific Northwest
Yeah.
and come
Get
down
down
to
to
the
it's
South?
warm down there in
Yeah, we
February,
have
right?
sunshine down here, so it's pretty nice,
Right.
lift the spirits before attending Texas Pinball Festival. But it's cool. So a lot of designers and people in the industry will come down to that show to support because Ed and Kim have done so many years of supporting them and their brands and their new game releases and stuff. So
Right. Okay.
it becomes this really intimate show that's very pinball people. So if you geek out about meeting designers and the movers and shakers of pinball in any aspect, or just collectors, operators, that's a great show to go to because it's going to have that more intimate feeling. I think they only sell 2,000 tickets or something like that.
Okay. That
Whereas
makes sense. And then
Texas
TPF's
Pinball
more of the
Festival is a
big
public show.
XCES style
Yep.
expo.
It still has the other founders of it still running the show. And it's at a different time of year. So Pinball at the Beach is in February. Texas Pinball Festival is in March. It's open to the public. It's great to bring your family and friends and relatives to come explore pinball for the first time too. And
Sure.
it's a really, really great show. It's one of the first pinball shows I went to back in 2016 or whatever. It's also the show where I saw Scott Denise's Whitewood for Total
Of
Annihilation
TNA.
before there was ever an N in between the T and A. It was just
For sure,
Total
right? Before he
Annihilation.
had to rename it.
Yeah, it was just Total Annihilation. It was a Sharpie. It was kind of in the corner with one of Jamie Liffin's games and a few other home brewers. I think he brought Wizard Blocks that year, which is super cool. And the sound was pumped up and it was starting to turn heads. And by the end of the show, we were just swarming that game. Everyone just playing it together and jamming out. And it was it was just a really cool moment, of
Sure.
hype.
I mean,
What
these
is
homebrews
this?
bring
What is this thing?
creative ideas that
Yeah.
launch. Yeah. I mean, you can't do the same level of kind of originality that you can in a homebrew that in a production game. I just
Glenn,
don't think.
we have to stop for a second and wave to Glenn Habas.
Oh, for
Who's
sure.
in
What's up,
your
Glenn?
league.
Yeah,
He was
he's in
in
On
my
Tilt.
league. Now he's in your league.
Although I don't think I
want to be
played
an
him
otter
once in the
age
last 2 seasons. Shane's rigged it so that our auto pairing doesn't put us together. I don't know.
Ooh. They probably
He's here
try
to
to
harass.
keep
Bring it on, Glenn.
degenerates separated, you know.
This is true.
I didn't ever get to play with Glenn much either.
I mean, aren't we all pinball degenerates
We'll all take
in our heart of
our
hearts?
smoke breaks together and make the whole rest of the league wait for us.
Yeah.
See, if you
Player
pair
4,
those people
waiting
up
20
together,
minutes,
Shane,
get back.
then we wouldn't have to worry about it. Put Scott Yarrow in there. You know, do you know Scott Yarrow?
I don't know Scott.
Okay. I don't know if he's in
Or
league
if I do know Scott, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Yeah, just other league players. I missed that. That was a really, really fun league back in the day.
Yeah.
Over at Ace Go.
Shane puts together a good group,
Yeah.
and there's people of all calibers. I mean, you've got, Carl and there's people that are so goddamn good at pinball that it's just like, it's intimidating. But it's such a good group. It's just fun to hang out. You don't need to play good to have a good time.
No, and they're the nicest people. And if you ever, to those watching, ever join the league or any league where you have someone like Carl D'Angelo playing, when you get matched up with him, don't go, oh, because imagine how he feels, he's there to have fun and play good. And
Carl has no soul.
No one wants
he doesn't
to play
feel
with
anything.
him. Yes, he does. I've seen the little tears that form in his eye. I was always so excited to play with Carl because you can watch him play and he's open about what he's doing, so he will teach you a lot of awesome tips.
Oh, Carl is the nicest person in pinball. I think
really
there's been
is.
like a back and forth whether him or Belcito are like the friendliest person in pinball.
I know.
But yeah, no, Carl is awesome because I've gotten Carl to come out of his shell and start to be mean, but he only directs it towards me. So he wizard moded my attack from Mars 3 times, hazing me the entire time, and then you get into league and he's just like, oh yeah, no, this is how you do this skill shot. Let me know if you have any questions or anything. So yeah,
so
we have a pyramid rivalry going on.
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah, you do a little pyramid thing. Right?
He loves Gravity Falls, which has Bill Cipher. So that's like his pyramid. Whereas like I praise the real Great Pyramid of Pinball, like the true pyramid god of pinball. And like he's got this, fake Disney cartoon bullshit, He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Glenn beat Carl in finals. Lies.
Hey, what's up, Pez?
Hey, Pez. Going back to the shows though, and then we'll go back to your content creation. But so yeah, someone in the chat said they got to meet Steve Ritchie, and Steve Ritchie talked to him for like 20 minutes. Like that's such an awesome thing, and all the people that create pinball machines are just as fanatic about pinball that we are, and it just is excited to talk about it too, So when you go out to these shows, you can have those kind of cool moments with, essentially our heroes. They created the best games that we grew up on playing and stuff, and you get that at both shows is what I wanted to say. TPF brings in what you'll see there is usually like new releases for all the games of the different manufacturers, and what also makes TPF really special is they bring lots of pinball vendors. So where we find ourselves shopping online for all these parts, you can actually go to Texas Pinball Festival, much like Pinball Expo, and see all these boutique pinball booths, and actually like I can play a game with precision flippers and make the decision on if I like them or not. I can listen to the pin sound.
I put them on my Dune, and I'm still not sure whether I like them or not. But I do have them on a game finally. I was surprised at how few vendors there were at like California Extreme. I do like that there were like small vendors that were like having T-shirts and like local distributor retailers or whatever. But like there were no pinball manufacturers at California Extreme this year. Like
that
zero.
Is intentional by the show organizers who are operators themselves and want to create a giant arcade gaming experience for their community in that area. So it's really about getting as many games in there. So California Extreme has like 200-300 games, and the quality of the games, super rare games that you're not going to see anywhere else in any other part of the country or world.
2 big bang bars and 2 kingpins in a 10-foot square area. Like but it's like $100,000 worth of rare pinball machines, and
Yeah.
that you can really only play then. Although I guess they're remaking one of them, maybe. Rumors
Maybe.
galore, right?
Oh, yeah, the Pedretti thing. Was it Pedretti?
Yeah,
I said. Yeah, I remember seeing
maybe.
that. Who knows? Nap will
But well,
tell
that
us.
explains
Nap
that.
will tell us. But yeah. So that's kind of their thing. And one of the cool things about California Extreme 2 is they really work hard on creating a dynamic layout. So whereas a normal kind of like trade show, you're just like blocks and rows. Everyone's in a little square, and that's kind of the static pattern. But they actually intentionally create this like maze and curving thing. So when you walk in through any door, you get lost and immersed inside the games, and you must wander around and
It's
explore.
like a
And
casino, but
they
not
do
for like
it, yeah.
nefarious reasons. Yeah.
No, yeah,
It
it's really, really cool.
it
They
has
put
an
on a
organic
really
flow
cool
to it,
show.
though. You do feel like you lose the feeling that you're at like a boring expo, and you get
Hmm.
that feeling like you are
Oh
more
yeah,
in a like arcade in the middle of
they
somewhere,
keep the
even
lights
though that,
low.
yep, the noise is
Yeah.
absolutely like eardrum destroying, just because you can't have that many games in a room without it being loud.
Dude, it's awesome. And then there's Golden State Pinball Festival in your backyard as well too.
Yep,
Have you been to that
just
show
five
yet?
hours up the road.
Yeah, dude, that's a rock skip away.
It's right around the corner.
Worth it, by the way.
True.
You can reserve a camp spot or an RV spot and actually stay on the fairgrounds at Golden State. And that is a really cool community and tech show where when the show floor closes down at night, the campsite, Camp Silverball, becomes alive. And we have like Lynn's Arcade always goes all out and has DJs playing, and they'll have a bank of games. Uh, Several other awesome operators will bring their banks of games and have them set up by their RVs and tents and stuff. So you're kind of like just traveling and exploring around in all these little like micro spots. And there's tournaments running. I think Gene Wang always runs like a pin golf tournament that makes you travel all around the campsites and stuff. So
Yeah,
that one
tons of
is
great operators
so
go up
cool
there,
on its
and
own. Yeah.
also Shane.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That's fucked up. That's the one we clip. Check
What's going
that,
on,
man.
Shane?
I know.
Shout out
Didn't
to
he
On
come in?
Tilt.
Oh no. He doesn't
No, I'm
watch
just
my
saying hi to
content
him.
anyway, so feel
No, he
free to
doesn't. He doesn't
troll
watch any
him.
pinball content.
I
Yeah.
know. He's too cool for us.
We
No,
live in a
he's
time
good.
where there are amazing live events to go to
Yeah.
pinball in like
And
all
they're
over.
all great. And Jeff, they're all different. Like when everyone's like, which one would you go to or recommend? It's like, well, what type of experience do you want out of it? And it's like, we should almost write a book because they're all great in their own ways, and they all have something like special and different about them. No
That's
pinball
great.
show
I mean,
is
why
the
would you
same.
want the same experience from
Yeah,
each one,
yeah,
right?
totally.
Like that's cool.
It's awesome. Yeah, so
Glenn
that's
says it's
exciting. You
Burning
go
Man
to,
for pinheads.
yeah. Oh, Golden State? Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. We want to grow that aspect of it too, for sure. uh, and then at all these things with Marco, we've been really pushing on helping promote and shed light on the homebrew community, which is why,
Uh,
we're here
your
today.
expo thing, which was everybody said that there were a number
Yeah.
of manufacturers that like had cool games, but every single piece of pinball content I saw said that by far the best part of Pinball Expo was the homebrew. And you guys had this huge like arena of just like homebrew
Created a
circle
village.
of love. It was great. Yeah. It was really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's all props to Marco Pinball and the owner Paul for really pushing to create. He really wanted to create this like that kind of village feeling community. So we did all the pop-up canopies, and it's like you're entering the homebrew area and stuff. And so yeah, we hope
And
to
you
bring
had
more of that to
Aaron in the
shows.
center with like,
Yeah.
the whole fast system, and then
Hmm.
like, yeah, it was
Yeah,
really
Ernie with the
neat.
Trident. So if you wanted to learn how to build a game, you could come here and get hella inspired. Just being around these makers, you get hella inspired. So it's really, really cool. And
It's true.
there's, I think, maybe 12 homebrew signed up for Texas Pinball Festival already, and maybe we can get 20, 25 or more out there this year. That would be great, and we will be there to support. And then helping run seminars for education on how to work on your pinball machines, which is
Awesome. An
our
important
other
thing to
big
do,
passion.
especially as
Yeah.
your pinball machine collection grows, you basically need to learn how to repair
Keep
them.
them maintained so they last forever,
Yep. Get you a pin snake.
Dude, I love my pin snake.
Same.
It's-
Although the new version I have mixed feelings on. That little eraser at the tip, like I get its purpose, but
Yeah.
it really grabs.
If Anthony ever sees this, I need to reach out to him because I have feedback on it too. I find myself using my pin snake 1.0 more than my new pin snake too.
I
But
gave
it's
my
nice to
I
have
gave my
that.
1.0 to a friend, and I went it back. If you were watching this and you know who you are, give me my pin snake 1 back. I'm sorry. I need it. I don't care that the snake tail doesn't fold up all the way.
Right. Yeah. I was like, the pin snake 2 is in my travel bag, but then the one
Yeah.
on my cart where all my games are. So, whatever. But all right, Jeff, your
Yes.
content. You have a podcast. You have a live stream.
I do.
You're starting to interview people and stuff. Like, what type of content are you trying to capture? Like, what drives you to create this content and everything? And where can we check it out?
Sure. I mean, I YouTube, Instagram, all the normal spots. It's called the Dirty Pool Podcast. I think I dubbed it like a exploration of the pinball industry or something like that. But it's just when I was starting to do more streaming, I was like, man, I really should do more. Like, I don't want to just be a streamer. I really didn't. And I was like, maybe I can start a podcast because, my company has experience doing interview stuff in the post-production world, which you and I kind of talked about before our chat. And I was like, well, what could I do the podcast interview about? Like, I don't want to just talk about the new game that's out. I don't want to go out and just speculate about what rumored games are coming out and this, that, or the other thing. Like, there's plenty of other streamers and pin people that do that, and they do it really well. So I wanted to start putting faces to people that are making a difference in pinball, is I guess how I would say that. Whether it be, people like Scott Denisi, who is like a person who's gone from homebrew to, obviously a pinball designer, whether it be people like on the team, that involved in projects that I've worked on, like with Winchester, all the way back to like my first one, which was Colin from Kineticist. I try to find interesting people that I want to do interviews with. I guess I'll plug one that's coming up just because I think this is really funny. So like, we have this whole thing going that Bone Busters is like the greatest pinball machine on the planet, which is not really
Hard
true,
body,
but it's
actually,
an ongoing.
But I see what you mean.
Sure. I mean, maybe Lady Luck or Gold Ball. There's plenty of really great meme games out there, including Raven. Anyways, so Ian from Nudge Magazine, who just doesn't know anything about pinball, obviously, he talks shit about Bone Busters all the time. So one of my next upcoming interviews that I've been scheduled with Stern for quite a while is Ray Tanzer, the creator of Bone Busters, and we will be talking about the development and the journey from bone to busting. So those are the kind of, like, I want to make content that covers pinball stuff that nobody really wants to watch.
Yeah. I want to watch that. When is it? When are you streaming?
That's going to be January 13th, I think. Let me double check. I have to confirm with him on the end of Friday. Scott thankfully filled my early January, but I have been pushing it back over and over. That's why I was like timid on plugging it, but Ray's schedule and mine, I feel has aligned. So sometime between January 12th and January 16th.
Do you
we'll say
always
that.
live stream on a particular day?
I try to do it on Tuesdays at noon Pacific time generally. But I'm really bad with that scheduling wise. Like, people are like rightly judge or bag on me for not being more diligent with it. But it's
hard.
With work. It's hard to be consistent. Yeah.
And
people's
when
schedules
you're
are all
working
over.
with interviewees, we're gonna base it off of their schedule.
I always try to do it live. I always try to have people involve and ask questions because, those questions are just as interesting and important as mine. Absolutely. It's not like I have the best questions in the world, and it's fun to have that kind of like live interaction. Recently, I've been doing some ones that aren't live, and we shoot it like at my house with people that are in league that are interesting. So like I did Ryan from Pinball Map, which I should specify Ryan's got a crew of other people that help him, but he was just the figurehead for it because he was, available. And Ryan was like nah, I don't want to talk on camera for a while. And finally he was like, I don't know. I guess I proved myself enough that he was just like, yeah, dude, I want to be on it. I was like, all right, sweet. Let's do it.
Yeah, good on you. That's awesome. That was a really great interview. He does not get him and like the team, his admins, and then the volunteer overall admins across the world like don't get enough credit for how
Over
impactful.
100. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
There's 100 people that give their free time that do nothing but make sure that these games are correctly like submitted and validated at locations. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It just shows how much like pinball people like really, they dedicate themselves to trying to make the hobby continue instead of trying to like make money off it or whatever. Like it's just, that's cool.
You know why they do it?
Why?
It's empathy, because they know how it feels to see like, oh, Hardbody's going to be at the game terminal, and then I'm going to drive 200 miles to play that game so I could have that feeling and that emotion with that game. And
but then you go there and it's not working.
Like, no,
and it's like it's soft body instead because one of the flippers isn't working, and you're like, this is
flex
unfortunate.
Saves are broken.
Yeah. So
great.
anyway, so that's
awesome.
the kind of content that I was interviewing more people that work at the companies and stuff, just because like, who knows what these like, you don't know what these faces are. There's too much of a faceless unknown to all of the people that work in the industry, right? You get to, who like Jack Danger is, you know who Keith is, who like what Jack from Jersey Jack is. Like you see these like 3 or 4 like figureheads of media that are involved in pinball. But it's like, what about all these other people that are doing really cool shit in pinball? Yeah. Aaron from Fast Pinball was on, we talked to after his road trip with Erica. Predator in the back and Erica all the way across the country. Those are the people that I want to give interviews with.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's really cool. And I've really enjoyed your content. So thank you for joining us here. And besides just interviewing and highlighting people, you're now also creating free sound effects for people to put in their
I put together. Yeah, well, then that I largely had to do. I did that after Expo, after seeing a bunch of these amazing homebrew machines. Some of them did not have amazing sound packages. And instead of just going like, man, all this sound is shit, I was like, what would be really cool is if I just put a bunch of sound effects up there and they could put them in their games. And thank you for helping both host that and spread the word. And you can go get that. Put it in your game.
I'll drop a link right now. We have the download link on our page. You just click there, and I think if you scroll to the bottom, you can get. And it's like, it's I don't know how many, but it's like several folders and several files in it, maybe like 100 or something.
I think it's 100 sound effects. Here, let me check.
Different.
It's an excellent
it might have
question.
actually listed that out in the blog how many it was. Now that I think about it.
I had a hard time figuring out how to like break them down too, so that people could, have an idea of where they go. But it doesn't matter. Let me tell you something. If you download the sound effects kit and it says that it's an orbit sound effect, you can put it where you want.
Yeah.
Just saying. You don't have to put it on the orbit.
No, maybe I can pull some up. But
here we go. It is.
You got some like cool industrial stuff going on with it. Can you play some of it? Because I know you have. I can.
Put me on the spot here.
I know. Well, I can put it. I made a little thing. I just grabbed all of the sound effects together and put them. So I'll play it.
Boom. Yeah. I mean, some of them. I actually. It's funny you say industrial. I've been in music for a really long time, and I was assigned as an industrial band in the early 2000s to a Chicago record label, no less. So a lot of my like music inclinations came from that. But I played classical piano for a really long time, and now I'm trying to apply that to pinball. Pez made a joke that I should interview the guy who did music for Winchester, which is. Obviously a project I did. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. Let's talk about that. How did that happen? And also tell us some juicy production and post-production stories and making that game. That's so cool. I still have not got to play it. It was at
You got to you got to come back out to Ace. It's there.
I know. I will.
That game's got 2,000 something plays on it. It's seen some shit. It's still kicking though.
Nice. I'm going to come in February. before I go to Japan and come play a game of it.
I'm
For sure.
I'm jealous you're going to Japan, but you should let me know when you come to LA so that you
Yeah.
can come and hang out and we can go to Ace and play Winchester.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah, for
Sweet.
sure.
Um,
But yeah, tell us about what it was like creating for that
all
project.
right. Yeah. So barrels. So yeah, well, I interviewed David and I made a joke about how that there wasn't any sound designer on his webpage. Like it's just like on an offbeat joke because like it's not a secret that I had done sound design at that point. Like I just like kind of kept my occupation quiet when I started streaming just because like I don't know, man, the internet's weird. You don't know what kind of people are out there, and I don't
We
want to
could
like
tell.
start streaming.
Your
Yeah, but I don't want to
production
be like,
value is so good. We were like, this guy's in the freaking industry.
thank you. I appreciate that. But the last thing I want to do is come off like some jackass who's just like, yeah, my stream sounds the best. Fuck everybody. Because I don't feel that way. I think
That's
there's a
what I
lot of really
thought.
great streamers that, you know, I mean, like I don't play the best pinball. There's plenty of streamers that are more entertaining and are better pinball players than I am. Like that's not what my stream's all about. It's like more of a hangout and chill kind of thing. But anyways, but yeah, so David knew that I was in the industry and we talked about some of the projects and stuff that I worked on. And yeah, they asked me if I wanted to work on Dune. Like Dune had just come out at that point, and it was in a spot where its code was needing some extra love, but it had plenty of sound assets. But they were like, "Do you want to take this on?" And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like I bought Dune. Like I was already excited to play that game. It wasn't like a hand-me-down or a freebie from Barrels. Like I was passionate about the game to begin with, so it was like a perfect project for me to like start. And since I had done the Twilight Zone one, and I've worked in video games for quite a while as well, and they share a lot of similarities in terms of their design mentality. So yeah, I did a pass on Dune. Barrels liked it, and Dune got a pretty positive reception about that sound package after it was updated. And then they came at me and was like, "Hey, do you want to work on this other game?" And you know, they wouldn't tell me what the theme was, and I was just like, "I'm sure." Like, I'm in, man. Like, this is great. I really like the team there. Like, I love the people that work at Barrels, except for Eric. Eric sucks ass. I hate Eric. I'm just saying that because I saw him in chat. Eric deals with my bullshit daily, and I really appreciate his extremely hard work that he puts in every goddamn game. That's a true, thoughtful phrase. I swear. He works hard on the weekends, late at night. I send him Slack messages at every goddamn time, and he busts ass. Anyway, so then they were like, "Hey,"
passionate team. It's amazing.
then they were like, "It's Winchester," and I was like, "Oh, awesome! What's that?" And so I found out what it was, and then it was revealed that Carl was the designer on it, and I've known Carl for quite a while, and he had been keeping it secret in the league, and you know, Carl sent me some references, and I wrote some piano tracks and sent it to him, and then off to the races.
Amazing. I would have probably like just died right there if it was like, oh yeah, the game you're working on is Carl's.
Oh, it was a code brown for sure. Like as soon as they said that, I like pooped my pants and was just like, "Are you kidding me?" Like
Yeah.
this is this couldn't be a better first full package of sound that I could be providing, and I was so stoked. And I love the game. I think all the music that is in there and the music that is coming is really amazing. I'm sorry there's not more of them, but I really hope that people get a chance to play it. It's a special game.
So you do all the music and all of the sound effects, anything that's audio related.
It's funny that people know me more as a sound designer right now, but like I'm a composer by trade. I write music for commercial and trailers. Like that's my day job for the most part. And yeah, I've got like 22 years of industry composing like, experience and receipts, and I just love writing music. So yeah.
Besides Pinball, what has been your favorite music that you've composed, and for what projects?
That's a really good question. So I worked on the Neverwinter Nights series back in the late 90s. I did all the music for one of the expansion packs for that, and I thought that was kind of a special moment. I really enjoyed that. I got to work on a Red Bull project at Skywalker Ranch, which was kind of a pretty unique experience. Not a lot of people get to go where Ben Burt has sat and mixed Star Wars. That's not really music, but it was an experience that I really appreciate the opportunity to work on. I don't know. That's a really good question. So much of this music, I know it gets used in projects, and I find out about it like afterwards. Like I've had tracks in Star Wars. I had sound design in Dune, the actual trailer campaign for it, which was a pretty easy shoe in to be like, hey, like I would be pretty good at doing sound design for Dune since the trailer campaign has a lot of my sounds in it. But yeah, I'm trying to buy time to think of a good track that I really love from something.
Yeah. Do
I'm
you
gonna have to think
have,
on that.
do you feel like you gravitate to a specific style? Like I know you and Scott were geeking out over synth waves, and you might have a little show and tell synth wavy type
I do.
stuff. Is
Yeah,
that kind of
maybe.
like the theme you're
I
you kind of
like electronic music a lot, but I play
Oh, you said
piano, and
classical. Yeah, piano.
right. Like, I mean, I think that any genre you can break down into, it's just pitches, it's percussion, it's duration. Like you can take any type of music and construct it pretty much out of anything. So like a lot of my ideas that like go into the games and scores and whatnot, like I'll write on piano and then I will, reorchestrate it with other instruments based on what it is. Which is what I thought was so cool about Winchester, and I really appreciate the team allowing me to do kind of whatever. Is like a lot of the score for the like main travel stuff is like piano. Like I don't know a lot of pinball machines that just have like piano score in it, but then a lot of the sound design in it is like these FM, Super Pin, Twilight Zone, Addams Family era, Yamaha 2040, I think. I always forget the exact, there's like a bunch of different Yamaha boards, but like all the sound design is like this really kind of like farty, squelchy kind of like FM sounds. So I like that kind of clash, stuff that's like shouldn't work but does as a whole package.
Nice. Very interesting. Yeah, that's really rad. When you did your Twilight Zone sound package, is that something that if we owned a Twilight Zone now, we could download that or install
Oh,
a ROM
absolutely.
onto our board?
It's on PinSound's website. They did a whole they posted it and shared it. I want people to have it. I found out thanks to Paladin Arcade that apparently you can install PinSound stuff in VPN. Like apparently like there's like a whatever interface layer that allows the like PinSound package to be extracted into it. So if you do have a virtual pinball machine and you would like to hear what my Twilight Zone package is, it's called the Fourth Dimension, I think. You can install it. Go for it.
Very
There's a few
cool.
arcades that run it, which I think is really cool. That was like it was like 1 month or 2 months into me streaming, and I found some arcade owner sent me a message saying that they had installed the kit in their arcade and loved it. And I was just like, that's awesome. Like, all right.
Oh, here's a link in the chat for y'all to check it out. That's cool. Or do you ever plan on doing more music for other classic games?
I mean, maybe my schedule is getting rapidly eaten up with pinball projects now. That both for work and like homebrew stuff. Like I'm helping Tanner
Oh,
finish his House of Pain and Blood, or I always screw up
House
the
of
name.
Flesh and Blood.
Flesh and Blood, that's the one. So I have written some interesting music for that. So that's like straight death metal, just to kind of show some diversity. So
This little
you know,
tiny game that just looks super wicked. Have you seen it in
it's gonna
person?
be.
Oh, well, you came
I
to Expo,
have.
so you saw it.
Yep. Yep. I
But
love
yeah, what a
he's just such
wild
an amazing woodworker. He
The
he
ramps
gave me
coming
a.
out of the game on the side, and then it's just gonna be
It's wild.
blasting heavy metal.
The wooden legs too that he like.
Yeah, it's like
I
all
don't people
curved.
think I don't think people realize that he's kind of a woodworker. I want to grab this real quick. I have it on
Yeah.
my piano. Hold on.
Those games that Tanner makes are going to become sentient and come to life and just start walking
He
walking
sent me
straight to
this.
my arcade.
He sent me this as a thank you for the score stuff. He like painted like an original House of Plain and Blood like thing.
Flesh and Blood.
And Flesh and Blood. I'll get it right eventually, Tanner. I'm sorry if you watch this later. But what's amazing is like, dude, look at I forget what this notching or whatever, but like he made this like insane wooden frame out of like multiple like cuts. It's like sanded and it's just, yeah. Tanner's a really, really nice guy, and I can't wait for people to play and hear that. I'm probably going to release the whole soundtrack just for free on Bandcamp or whatever,
Yeah.
whatever allows people to get it. Just because it is such a weird mashup of just like death metal and other hard electronics. So a little different from Winchester's pianos.
Is that where you generally post music that you compose on Bandcamp? Like, is there a place we can go like that or SoundCloud and be like, let's listen to all of Jeff's?
I don't. So all of my music is on most of it is in a company called Alibi Music Library. That's the production company that I do a ton of work for, and I have like I don't know 2,000 tracks in that. Most of it is bad, and some of it's really good. Uh, but I also have a music project called Defrag, which is my like kind of outlet of doing weird electronic music that I have maintained over the last 25, 30 years. So yeah, if you did a search for that,
Yeah, I found Alibi Music. What was the other one? Deep Frag?
Defrag,
Defrag.
DEFRAG. Yeah, it's on
Defrag.
Spotify and other music
Oh,
sources.
gotcha. Okay, yeah, we'll check it out. That's awesome. Um, Man, do you ever perform live with your music?
I have actually quite a bit. When I was in New York back in the like early 2000s, we were performing a lot in the like a bunch of the clubs showed down. It was like Pyramid Club, it was Limelight, which shut down, but I would play pretty frequently. And we opened. I remember opening for Gravity Kills and Pigface and Godhead and a few other acts. Like we were traveling with the industrial circuit for a while when I was like, that's going to be my thing, and then decided that maybe I should branch out into some other musical things and endeavors since industrial music isn't exactly like a blooming occupation. So.
I mean, this is going to be fun because you need to come to Golden State. You need to perform in Lynn's Arcade at MFP camp. We'll have. So
Sure.
what do you need to perform? Do you bring like big box of like synthesizer stuff, or are you using a deck?
It's like it's just the laptop at this point. I mean, yeah. Back when we were touring, it was, guitar and a laptop, and that was pretty much it. Now it's just the laptop, which is unfortunate. It's just, I would say it's more of a hybrid DJ set because the songs that I write are like really, they're just not performable live because it's a lot of like crazy breakcore kind of like programming shit. So I'll usually freestyle over it or just like mash the tracks together live as I play. So.
But you got to play like
it's not quite the live experience like it used to be.
But if you're playing like your Twilight Zone tracks on top of like Winchester tracks mixed in with like Dune for
I could
pinball
do that,
people, dude, we will
I
rage
didn't
so
do the
hard.
music on Dune. Kaneda had said that I had done that, but I
just
did
assumed
not.
with you. Why not?
No, which I did write jingles for it. There were a number of musical moments in it, but I don't want to take credit for other people's work. And I had tried to set the record straight for that on my Instagram and stuff. But he was also talking about how much other audio work that I have been doing in the industry, and that stuff is true. So I appreciate that. So
Gotcha. Well, I wish you can get the sound effects from Dune, and that could be like in your crazy break.
Sure, I could do a mashup. Pinball music live. We got wizard modes on wizard modes coming for Winchester, and they are definitely more energetic.
Carl's the master of wizard modes, so that makes sense.
He is. There are so many. In fact, there might be even more wizard modes now because of some community suggestions that Carl was like, you know what, we'll do that. So there's even more music than was intended to be in Winchester coming to Winchester.
Yeah, and maybe because Barrels of Fun has integrated their mini game mode Barrel Ball, which is basically stall ball. Maybe they will integrate Critical Hit into their games too, because that would be cool, like a digital card game running.
Eric's in the chat, right? Can we do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Carl can scan. I'm sure Carl's got all the cards scanned, right? Like, boom, just throw them in.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I can't even imagine the programming nightmare that would be because some of those cards are like, really strange. Yeah, let him figure it out. Eric can figure it out. Eric can figure out anything.
Anything. Yeah, absolutely. And then you have to come to Houston Arcade Expo because Scott always comes every year and he DJs a set. So you guys could do some crazy mashup collaboration. I
might be doing a remix for Scott. He invited me to do a remix, so I'm going to remix one of his tracks.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited.
And then you guys can perform it live at Houston Arcade Expo, which is right by Barrels of Fun. So you can go do other work and then come play with us, and it's gonna be amazing time.
We're working on our next game, Raven 2000.
You said you only been to 2 shows, and I was like, okay, hold on, let me make your itinerary for 20.
Are you kidding? I would defer to nobody else other than you. You are like the authority on every show. You're the best. Please plan my journey. I would love that.
I haven't been to them all yet. There's a lot of really awesome shows that I'd love to attend. The Dory Hill show. That's another kind of smaller, limited amount of ticket show, but it's in Colorado, and they reserve like a place where people actually go to summer camps where they have like the little cabins and stuff. And
Cool.
then each cabin rental, you have to turn it into a whole like cool pinball experience and decorate it. And then you just spend
Cool.
the whole weekend doing this giant, whatever,
It's
200
like a
person tournament.
bar crawl, but going to
Yeah,
different places,
yeah.
different decked out spots. That's
Different
super
decked out
cool.
cabins, and you're playing a tournament series in
I
it.
love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
That sounds super fun.
everyone's doing such cool things. That's just one. MGC also, someone mentioned in the chat, that's Midwest Gaming Classic. That's in April, early April. And Scott Denisi also DJs there. And
Cool.
that was what he was showing his little module out when you were interviewing him. His little
Yeah,
dicto
he has the
module.
Tascam or whatever. It's the DJ table like syncing, so he can actually like pull off like sync data from
Yeah.
that, which is neat.
Yeah.
So, and he makes Eurorack modules, which I have a bunch of Eurorack stuff right there and more of it over there that is collecting a lot of dust. I like it. It's just it's not fast enough. Like the workflow is slow, which you get such unique sounds out of it that way. But just for the pinball stuff, I might bust it out again. But for commercial work, it's just the timelines for that stuff is too tight. You don't have time to fuck around making like cool bleeps and bloops to put that in there.
Gotcha. Yeah. Just go digital at that point, I guess.
Yeah, in the box.
In the box. Nuts. So when we were setting up this stream, you kind of screen shared some crazy stuff. I would love to dive into that and see what you had show and tell wise and see what we can.
Sure. I thought it might be neat to do a little like little FM synthesis kind of tutorial. If people were interested in that. I don't know. Chat, do you care?
Yes.
Do you want to see what some FM sound stuff
They
is?
do.
How,
you did.
how for FM's?
You did have one question in the chat.
Hit me.
It was. Let me scroll up a bit.
Also, I don't know if is this
this
coming
is
through?
I think so. What do you guys hear, chat?
Let me know, chat. Do you hear my sweet roads?
Oh, it's so beautiful. Where's Manu? I need to text Manu. He needs to be in the chat.
Manu's streaming right now. What a dear jerk.
No, he's supposed to stream after me, and then I raid him. My God.
Yeah.
My
Well, we can still rate him, right?
I guess.
Anyways, so this is.
Oh wait, hold on. That question. The question.
Yeah, sure. Hit me.
Would you be willing to compose my entrance music? You know, like wrestler intro music, but when I get introduced at tournaments. Oh shit! That Pez music.
Okay, so he said, "Oh shit!" So I kind of have to find this and play this because I did a similar thing because oh Christ, where is it? Ian sent me this goddamn dumb. Ian likes to send voice messages on Instagram instead of like typing because he's a madman, crazy person.
Ooh,
so he sent me this.
I'm adding him on Instagram.
He sent me a voice message, and I was like, "Oh man, like you're making a big mistake here because I'm going to use that." So here, where is it? Here we go. So this is a fun little ditty that I wrote that involved Ian. This should work, right? Oh, let's turn that down a little bit. This is Ian.
Oh shit!
Anyways, so yeah, if you
Dude,
send me voice
Golden
messages,
State. Please hang out with us.
if
at
you send me
Golden
voice
State for
messages,
the
I'm probably going to troll you and turn it into like dumb trap music for fun.
That is amazing. Wait, so is that his new intro music? He already made it.
I guess.
2 seconds.
So I interviewed him for my
send me the
podcast.
bill.
He was like, yeah, right. Yeah, no, I trolled him with it on the podcast just for fun. But anyways, Pez, no, probably not. I would love to, but I don't know. How long? 30 seconds? Send me some vibe ideas and we'll go from there.
It's got to be like 10 seconds. And it's
10
got to have
seconds.
the sound effect of like the Pez sound, like,
Right? It definitely needs like,
yeah. And get like a ASMR of someone chewing on a Pez. Make it Carl, so it's just even specialer.
so I got Carl to play trumpet. So Carl plays trumpet, which you probably may not know. Yeah. I forced him to play trumpet because, Winchester has all these instrument targets and there's horns, drums, all these different things. So we recorded all that, real instruments, so that, because it sounds better. And I was like, Carl, you got to play horn, you got to play trumpet on this. And he was like, no. And I was like, dude, like, you need to play trumpet on this, dude. Like, this is like your game. Why would you not want to have like a cameo Easter egg? So I finally got him to play his trumpet stuff. And yeah, it's in there. I modified it, but it's core. It's in there. So, yep.
How special is that? Good job.
I guess. I feel like if someone actually plays a real instrument and are designing a pinball machine, it's like your due diligence to make sure that they are in there.
100%.
Right?
Nice. Yeah.
Anyways, I'll do just a little quick crash course because I thought this was pretty interesting because I talk a lot about this Yamaha chip and what frequency modulation FM synthesis is and how it was used in Winchester sound design. And this is a good visualization of it. And then I'll show the actual instrument that I use to do a lot of those sounds. It's very affordable. The company that makes it is called Plogue, Plogue. And it's fun to play around with. But it has some limitations because it's so accurately modeled of the original. The one I'm using in here is the DX7, but you can just turn off 2 of the operators and then it sounds like a regular Yamaha 2040. But anyways, so this is just a simple sine wave right now. And you can see up here, this red one is the one that you're listening to. It's the only one that's playing right now. And this is the output over here on the orange. So the way that frequency modulation is that another signal is sent into it and it creates modals, and different frequency iterations of itself as it self-modulates. So I'm going to bring in this yellow one into the red one now, and you're going to see as I mix and modulate it more, it creates more and more modals that create more and more harmonics. So if I play lower, you might recognize a sound that's like very like Sega Genesis or like, Bram Stoker's Dracula has a lot of these kind of like sounds to it. But then, as you bring in more and more of these, the modulation gets more and more complex. So you get really more interesting sounds out of it, That's really, wait. just random Zelda, I guess. So this concept is what frequency modulation is for synthesis. So this synth has all sorts of other fancy things, but the actual Yamaha chip, which is the one that used here, it's that same principle. Each one of these numbers here are a operator, and it generates a tone, and they are routed through each other. So that's what these yellow lines are. And if you've ever used the DX7 or any kind of synth like that, this is what this sounds like in this orientation. But as you change the algorithm, it just reorients it. So for example, like this pathway is now this tone is going into this, which is going to the output. This one's self-modulating and going to the output, and this is also going to the output. So it sounds a little different. Let's see if we can, oh, here we go. We got a farty one. Very cool. Yeah. So then I like to run, this rolling sampler down here at the bottom. So you can kind of just grab these moments and work with them as a sound designer if you want. So we can have like this cool sound like that. Let's see if there's something else in here that was in D, so we could do like a little like ditty that goes with it, right? So then you just start to combine these sounds and layer them to build, and you start to build a landscape for it. And something that I love to do is to make sure that like all of the sound effects that are like occurring in the project are related to the music, so that everything you're doing, like with Winchester's stuff, every time you hit a stand up or a musical tone and stuff, like it's all almost in the correct key for every track, because every song is either in a key or a relative key that they'll share similar tones. So, but yeah, sense.
No, keep going. We're so intrigued. This is awesome. Make a sound for us.
Make a song.
Dance monkey. This is so cool.
Well, I'll show a little bit of how this classic one works, because if people want to pick this up, it's a neat tool. So these the attack and decay in this works differently than any other the synthesizer. So this L1, L2, L3, L4 stands for, they're kind of like markers on this wave. And this is how quick or how fast it gets there. So for example, like, let me shut this one off. So we're just listening to this side of it. So we're just listening to this number 1 oscillator here, which you can tell by me changing the pitch on it. So if I tell it to take, I want it to go slowly, it's totally non-intuitive, right? So like, you want it to go slow, so you turn it left, which is like the opposite of how an ADSR works. So now when I hit this, it's gonna fade up.
Oh, yeah.
Over a really long period of time. So we can have it go quicker. There we go. So if I have the thing that's modulating it also fade up. Or I could have it be quick. So you build these tones as they like pass through each other to create textures, moments, whatever you're trying to do. You can kind of hear. So now we're just listening to the stack on the right here. And so this doesn't sound so good up here, but if we play it down an octave, that's 240. A little more interesting, but you can just change your algorithm up and it totally changes how they're routing through each other, which you can immediately get, completely different sounds just by, I mean, this is different than, oh, that's the same, but that one's a little different. And then all sorts of sounds can be treated with, reverb. Make anything sound better with reverb.
That's the secret sauce. Add some reverb.
Yeah, the secret sauce is definitely reverb. So, yeah.
That's beautiful. What's the secret sauce as an audio engineer for voices to sound better? Like, say you're working with someone who sings off key, but you have to work with
Well, I don't mess with a lot of auto-tune, but there is...
It's auto-tune, right? Is there like...
Nectar has some stuff that can do that, but I mean, if I was going to say my secret sauce is you bring it in through... So like when this is a Manley Vox box, I think my chain for the stuff that we did, so... For Winchester, I recorded the callouts here. I used this microphone, which is a U87. It's a Neumann. They're not cheap tools, but you can still get an amazing sound out of not expensive stuff. Like this whole idea, like one thing I think that would be great for homebrew stuff to get better at is like callouts. And really the magic comes from just the performance, like a really good, like owning the moment, right? And not being afraid to like hear your voice and what it sounds like. And then of course, after that, processing it to make it sound good. But like having expensive microphones and compressors, like it's bullshit. Like you can use OTT is a really good go-to. I mean, a lot of producers know this. This is a fucking free compressor. The stuff that comes with your DAW is amazing. And like you can get a lot of amazing sounds out of these tools that don't need to be expensive. Here's another great one. This Delay is an amazing granular reverb and delay, totally free. Go get it. Shit's free.
Wow.
So like here, let me show you what that sounds like. It's got such a, here, I'll kill the dry signal, but it's just like incredible.
I just want this like sound just in slight playing throughout my arcade.
Just have it in the background.
Subtle, yeah. That's awesome.
Oops, let's pitch it up. And it does all sorts of neat stuff, like since it is a granular delay, You can get all sorts of these like weird tape effects into it. And so that moment, even though we weren't recording, that's why you need to have a rolling sampler running. We can just dump that down here. That neat sound that we may not be able to recreate again because I was spinning knobs is, right here.
That's so beautiful. That's like the perfect tone ever. Have you ever been to Meow Wolf?
I haven't. I don't know what a Meow Wolf is, but it sounds cool. I like cats and wolves, so.
Imagine them hybrid into this ultimate collaborative creative fusion, and that is the Meow Wolf artist group. But they have maybe 5 or 6 different locations now where they create these kind of like walking, living, breathing art buildings that kind of have a loose storyline narrative around it. There is a Meow Wolf in Houston that just opened up that their focus is on audio waves. I think it's called radio wave.
Oh, cool. So it's like an interactive experience based on
and like
waves?
the sounds that you're making right there like just really set me back to like the Meow Wolf experience, because they're like putting every like kind of art exhibit you go to has its own story and layers of meaning, and at all Meow Wolf exhibits, but Radio Wave really wanted to focus on the audio aspect. So
is this near me? I would love to check this out. This sounds great.
The closest one near you would be in Area 15 in Las Vegas. They made a Omega Mart.
That's pretty close.
Omega Mart.
I've been to Omega Mart. Are you kidding me? I love the Omega Mart.
Meow Wolf. So in Omega Mart, in that central pillar where you go in and then you and 4 other people can like make music beats that go throughout the entire exhibit.
Yeah, I have done that thing. Yeah,
dude,
of course. It's on the second floor up in the like metal rafters and stuff.
I just go to Omega Mart just to find people. I just like stay in there and like wait for them to come. And I'm like, hey, push that button right there. I'm gonna push this one. And then it's
hard to tell people to go to a Mega Mart without ruining the experience though, because you're like go to this shopping mart, and they're like, why? And you're like, you just gotta go. Like I can't really tell you about the experience without ruining it, No,
you have to educate them, because what I learned is a lot of people go to these places and they don't experience it properly. They kind of just walk through it and observe. But really, each room you're supposed to spend time in, and like absorb. So in the Houston one, Radio Wave that just was created, they're really focused on audio. So when you go into each little room, like take a seat, you'll find somewhere that they have created some seating area where it's like the perfect place to get all the sound waves, and then you're just listening to all this like produced layered sound of environments and stuff, and it's just really, really wonderful experience.
I love the installation experiences when they're done correctly and they not have a budget, but the people behind them know what they're doing, like can be really just unbelievably awesome. So
so we'll have to
I guess I want Tanner to finish his goddamn game, because I want him to finish it. So can I play a little bit of the soundtrack for House of Flesh and Blood? Did I say it correctly?
You
this
said
one's
it
probably going to be pretty
correctly.
loud. Finally, it only took like how long, right? This is going to be pretty long. I probably won't play the whole thing, but I do like how different this is. If people know my music from the piano stuff for Winchester, this is a little different. Anyways,
I can just imagine like
he's redoing his sound system for it specifically, so I cannot wait. I hope Tanner can bring it to either TPF or have it for next expo, because I think it's going to be a really cool experience. Because like you said, his game is so weird. The ramps go outside of the game and stuff. Like it's such a cool art piece, and it's not really a pinball machine, but it's still kind of a pinball experience. Like, yeah.
Absolutely. Well,
Definitely Doom
maybe.
vibes. He sent me Mick Gordon's thing as a reference,
Oh,
and I actually
yeah.
remixed. I did a mashup as a joke for Mick of because we're aware of each other's work in the video game industry, and I mixed Doctor Who with with his track from Doom, and it's pretty hilarious. But it came out pretty amazing. But yeah, anyways, strong Doom vibes.
That is really cool. So, Tanner frequents Midwest Gaming Classic. That would
Okay.
probably be a good place to have him bring his game. It's in early April, like I said. So I think maybe you need to plan a trip to Milwaukee.
I think that sounds good. I've never been to Milwaukee, so I'm
There you
down.
go. Yeah. Oops, wrong one.
I think that would be fun. Part of the pinball experience now is getting to see, because I used to live overseas. I lived in Saudi Arabia for a number of years, and I didn't get a whole lot of the like travel around America thing. I like lived in New York and then moved straight out to LA, and that was like kind of like the experience, both sides of America. So it's been cool going to like Chicago and some of the other stuff for
Yeah.
pinball related things that like I'm being forced to go check, like visit these places. So
Do you
yeah.
get with what you do, can you work remote? Like, is traveling easy for you in your kind of day-to-day
Yeah, I mean, I
existence?
can. Yeah, I built my studio in the back of our house, and it is functional for being able to do any kind of audio music related stuff that I need to remotely, unless we're recording something specifically. It was convenient that a lot of the voice actors for like that were on the potential list for Winchester were just like in LA, and I was just like, "You're record here because I want to be the director for it." Because a lot of times when they just like read
Yeah.
call outs off scripts, it just sounds like jackpot, and that's lame. I don't want that. Like I want the experience to be kind of like Attack from Mars, like any Brian Eddy game has call outs that just like shake your bones, screaming jackpot like crazy, and I think that's more of the pinball experience. Like I'm trying to make pinball kind of fun again and not as like a dry experience as I feel like it's kind of gotten in a lot of like recent years with certain games. So yeah.
What if, as you travel to these pinball shows, you keep like a little task cam or mic or something and record call outs from different people and sounds of the shows and then create a song with all of those
I
assets?
Not only that, but have them say these call outs and then put together. Somebody had said that they wish that there was a call out pack for like homebrew stuff because there were no call outs in the sound
Oh,
design kit
yeah.
that I did. And I mean, the reason for that is like I'm not really a voice actor. So, but I love that idea. And I have one of those right over here that I could do the recording for. So if I can get enough people to do enough different call outs, and the only issue with that is like these environments are loud. They're so not
Yeah.
conducive for recording. Like I'm thinking Expo, I'm like, my voice was shot for almost a week
Mm-hmm.
after that because it was so loud trying to talk over anybody to talk about the games. But I don't
We
know.
could
I
build
love
a
that idea.
we
And I
could
do
build
have
a
that
sound
tool.
box.
So
Ooh, okay, hold on, I figured it out. We
hit me.
get space
Hit me.
at TPF. We can start at TPF. I will dedicate
Okay.
one of my 10 by 10 canopy because now I have like 30 of them, and
That's a
we
lot.
create it a sound booth in it, like fucking lots of foam and everything to make it as like
Sure.
as possible. And then that's just like your little sound booth, and you just all weekend can bring people in there to record stuff.
You know who we could reach out to about this. And I love plugging these guys. Bash Pinball, the most underrated pinball podcast on the internet. Not only do they bring mobile rigs around when they go to these shows, but they both work building microphones. That is their job. They make incredibly high quality microphones. So they're friends. I'll reach out to Matt and Don and ask them because I think that they would be down with this if they are still traveling for that. And I wish that everyone would go listen to their podcast. They put so much work into it. They all have narratives and fun adventures in it. And they do like a full sound design pass for it. Like Matt and Don, Bash Podcast, Bash Pinball. I'm saying it right now. Fuck my stuff. Go listen to theirs because
They're
it's cool.
hosting the Twippies this year, right?
I saw that,
think I
which was
saw
funny.
something.
But yeah, the sound quality for the Twippies is probably going to be pretty good, and that's a good indicator about why they should be putting this booth together
Oh yeah, so for those are the Twippies.
so we can
Yeah,
do our
that would
call
be
outs.
that would be a super fun collab.
Just put a sign up that says like, come record fun pinball call outs. Say whatever you want. You could have we could have a script that just has stuff and people can say whichever one they want. And then when it's all done, compile it together and release it as this like one mastered like pinball, call out set. And then homebrewers will have the entire community doing their call outs. I love it.
I love it. We have to do it. That would be so much fun. In the future, would you take more homebrew projects? And if so, like, how does that work as far as people reaching out to you? But I
don't know. That's a good question. I mean, Tanner and I had talked well before, like I was doing stuff with barrels and like more kind of in the whole ecosystem of doing it, I don't know, more as a job. It really just comes down to time right now. Like I like projects that are interesting, not like I like challenges. I don't really need more pinball projects. I just want to take on interesting stuff. So I would say like I probably don't have a lot of time to take on any other homebrew stuff right now. But, Manu hit me up and needed some sound effects for his matrix that he's working on. And I was like, bro, I got you. Like, little one-offs like that are easier. And I certainly don't mind helping people make better pinball because that's like the whole reason I started doing this. So
yeah, very cool. Yeah. I like that. I mean, yeah, we're so busy. You got to pick your projects and not overcommit.
Right.
It's easy
and I have to
yes,
prioritize like industry work at this point. So, for sure.
Very cool. But you're still giving.
How else are we going to finish working on Raven 2000 over at Barrels, the next Barrels game that I'm announcing right now as Raven 2000?
We knew it all along. How great! I need like a step stool to play that game. The Raven that I played is high. Maybe the one Shane had at Ace Gogi at the time was had like
can I admit something
31-inch
to you?
legs.
I have to make a confession on your stream. I'm sorry. I've never played a real Raven.
You were going so
and
hard about how it's the
I
best game
joke
ever.
about it all the time. I tried to play it at Expo. They had a Predator one. It was broken.
Yeah.
Right. I've played Adam. No, who was it? I think it was Adam. Somebody at our league brought a like V-pin that he had constructed into like a condensed space, fully functional, 120 refresh rate V-pin, and that had Raven on it. But I'm living a lie. I'm living a lie, and I can't do it anymore.
It's okay. We'll get you some quality Raven time. But Scott's right. The music and sound effects on that game are really special.
Are legit.
And like TX Sector too. Like it's beautiful. If you have not played that game.
I have played TX Sector. That one I don't have to lie about.
Yeah. Have you played Hard Body at least?
Of course, I love Hard Body. I love all the meme games. So like, I were talking about like what got me into pinball, and it was like, Pinball Molly had this Pins and Needles place in Los Angeles like 20 years ago, and she had a ton of those, man. She had like Laser War, Alien Poker. I'm trying to think of like some of the other meme ones, Genesis, like just a lot of the games that, are frequently lovingly hated on. I didn't play that until California Extreme. That game is crazy weird. That's a Ray Tanzer game too, I think, right?
I think so. Yeah. Ray did awesome stuff.
Some weird stuff. Yeah. Class of 1812 is thematically just like bizarre. It's a strange game. Where did it come from, right?
So one question that I would love to get from you is, say I'm going into homebrew, I'm working on my game, and now I'm into the sound design part where I am creating all the assets. Like, what is like a good workflow for that of, okay, I know I need all these types of sounds for all these different hits and stuff. Like, where do you start? What advice do you have in that sense?
That's a good question. I mean, I think, so first and foremost, I would say like theme integration is like paramount. Like, it doesn't mean that like if you're like, I'm trying to think of a good example, but like it doesn't need to be a 1-to-1 ratio, right? If you're doing Class of 1812 and you hit the school bell, it doesn't need to make a school bell sound necessarily, but like making sure like the sounds that you're like making fit with what the project is that you're doing is like number one for sure. And I wouldn't get overwhelmed at how many sounds you need to do. I would start with the sounds that play the most frequent, like slingshots and spinners and things like that, and play around until you found like a sound palette that works, a set of tools that work, and then just start to like explore those tools to kind of see what develops out of it. That's one reason why I suggest, like, it doesn't matter what DAW you use. I use Bitwig. I love Bitwig. I think it's a very excellent creative tool. It's got all the necessary things you need for like quick creative ideas. I converted Manu to it. He was using something and I was just like, here, try Bitwig. And I had Bitwig, he'll come up with a copy, and he has been apparently very successful at doing his own sound design. So having a tool that allows you to get your ideas out is important. But yeah, I don't know. Play around, have fun, roll a rolling sampler so that when you have an idea or a sound that sounds cool, you can capture that moment and not have it be missed and gone forever. Because you could be just banging on the keyboard, playing it around. You're not recording. You're not recording MIDI. It's not a preset. You're never going to hear that sound again. And you hit it, and then you're like, that's the moment. That's the slingshot, and it's gone forever. Don't be there. Don't be that. Get the rolling sampler.
Can't recreate it. It just doesn't
Exactly.
feel right. That is
Nothing is
something.
worse than having a project crash and losing something that you will never have again. And yeah,
Yeah, been there on like the video editing side. But I feel like it's more forgiving than audio creation.
how so?
In that sense.
I mean, I don't disagree with you, but I'm curious.
As far as like video production, like say my software crashed and I have like a bunch of edits and fades and stuff, it's very technical and very like specific to get back to that moment. Whereas like
Sure, that's
the
true.
sound creation kind of has more of that soul, you know.
Yeah, so
Now production is different.
non-destructive.
If I'm filming something happening,
Yeah,
then yeah, I hope to God my batteries don't die, my media doesn't get filled or whatever when, you know.
you'll get your best audio work if you remove that safety net, in my opinion. Like having, just working with tools that are like you use MIDI and you dial in safe things, and it's you can reproduce it easily and all that is great, but you're lacking the experimentation and kind of like the organic automation that comes with making like interesting sound moments. And when you're making like pinball sound effects, like every single sound needs to be its own like identity, right? Like it needs to stand on its own. If you just played the sound effect for like, the kickback on Winchester or like the drain sound, like it needs to sound cool, like a real moment, and not just like a kick sample on like a CD or something,
Yeah.
right? Like, and that, yeah, I came from doing trailer sound effects, and that is a very similar application where like if you're not hearing it and thinking it in your head, like you should be able to hear the drain sound without playing the game and be like, oh, the ball just drained, or like hear the sound of it hitting the slingshots and being like, oh, it's rattling on slingshots, or like if you can see it in your head as you're working on it, then you know that it's going to work in the game.
Nice. I have so many questions about this. This is very
Sure.
fascinating. And stuff like I didn't really like think of, but like one is there like a certain amount of seconds for each type of hit? Like a sling should always be 3 seconds, an orbit shot should always be half a second, or anything like that, kind of like guidelines.
So that depends on where the switches are located on the actual shot for a lot of it, because if the switch is far into like using orbits as an example, or ramps are a really good example. So if you have an opto or some sort of gate switch, micro switch at the entry of the gate, right? Well, then the sound effect should probably be timed with the motion of the ball. So a lot of like what I'm doing is when I'm seeing the ball path motion, Carl sends me a grid of where all the actual like switches are for it, so I can get an idea of like what the speed of the ball would be to make sure that the sound relates to that. But shifting sounds like in time is not terribly difficult. To answer your previous question, some of the like if there's too many tails, like really long tails on it, it can kind of jam up the audio buffer because you've got only a limited amount of polyphony that can go on. So if all of your sounds are fucking 15 seconds long, and you're playing a multi-ball, all of a sudden you've got 50 or 60 sound assets that are playing, but they're not making any sound if they've got these long tails on them. So it's nice to keep stuff cleaned up. Also, just knowing like what you can actually hear while you're playing. Like you may have the coolest reverb tail in the world on this like impact or scoop sound, right? Scoop sound? I'm Sean Connery, the scoop master. You may have this amazing reverb tail on it, but like you just can't hear it when all this other stuff's going on. So like why waste the real estate when you could be keeping it more of a cleaner landscape? So
Absolutely. Yeah, that's interesting. What about with stacking sound effects and music? Is there a process you prefer? Like, I'm gonna do all of the sound effects first and then lay music over it that will work well for those sounds integration, or is it kind of like
So,
left up to fate because this is the theme of the song, or how integrated does that
so
get?
so that's where more of the pitch stuff comes into play. So making sure that, right, if you're playing in, like, for example, like, oh my God, that's so fucking loud. Sorry. It's, boo, scared you. You're playing in C major, right? Like the 1 and 5 of a chord are like the most powerful tones in it, right? Like they're like just the tones that carry the most weight and can easily be applied to sound design. So if you know that your music that you're writing is in C major, right, then you could just drop a lot of the tones beyond the fundamental with C, or make a lot of the tones like have reference to either E or G, which is the 3rd and the 5th. So you can build that landscape, and then no matter what, it doesn't matter what song's playing, you're essentially a DJ at that point. When the ball's hitting stuff, it's shouting off little like musical moments that are also in key with the music. So it doesn't matter if they're stacked. I also, I had Eric kind of revamp the side chaining that was in Dune and Winchester, and we put this system in where you can adjust it yourself. And we gave Eric was like, let's give this to the people as an audio menu. So the side chaining essentially, like when there is an input signal, I mean, I guess I could demonstrate this in here. Hold on a second. So side chaining is essentially like it lowers the volume of something while something else is going on. And we'll use these cool little sound effects that we had already created here. And we'll do it with, let me see. We'll do it with the Winchester theme. The game's already out. Can't get in too much trouble, right?
Just blame it on me. Be like, Dave Iwamoto. Go talk to her.
Dave Iwamoto.
He'll be like, oh, it makes sense
okay.
now.
It makes sense. Here we go. So this is the Winchester theme.
Sweet.
So normally, let's turn this down so you can hear me a little better. Am I coming through?
Yeah, you're great.
So this is the Winchester theme, right? And normally when it gets to these sound effects right here, they're just going to play at the same time at the same loudness, and it's going to be muddy. You can't even hear them, right? They're like so buried in there.
Yeah.
So what is happening in the back end with the side chaining is there is a compressor that is running on the audio channel. It's not this one, but all compressors are essentially the same. And if we tell it to take a listen to okay, so now this is set up to lower the volume and on a certain set of rules when it hears audio playing on this other channel. So what's going to happen is while the music is playing, these sound effects are going to happen, and it's going to automatically dip the volume of the music. So I'm going to make it super aggressive right now so that you can hear the effect. But you can see, like, on this graph over here, it like lowered the volume in relationship to how loud this stuff was, right? So if I make these like really short, kind of, Jesus, I'm getting so old I can't use a fucking mouse anymore. So if I make it like these little kind of short ticky-tacky moments, right? Maybe I'll put a kick drum in here too. So here you can hear like these little sound effects fire off, and it perfectly dips the sound down so that you can't hear it. Here, I'll build into it a little more so you can hear it. So part of like making a really good mix in the pinball box is having all of these layers. Like you're essentially a sound engineer in, oh, I guess you can't see the compressor. I'm sorry, I had this off to the side of the screen.
Let me to the side, yeah.
Let me bring that back here so you can see it.
Oh,
so I get, we're doing it live, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So the pink line represents the volume dipping from the waveform that's coming in. And if you imagine taking this waveform and just slapping it in there, it would sync up to it, essentially, because the shape of this is the inverse shape of this. So why is this important, right? Because you're mixing a record when it comes to a pinball machine. You've got music, you've got sound effects, you've all this shit happening all at once. And if all of it is just being played at fucking max volume, you know, it's like you're playing in a bad club with a sound engineer who doesn't know what he's doing, right? So to get the biggest, loudest signal out of the game so that it sounds really great. Like a lot of people complain that the speakers that come with their game like aren't good. And I argue the fact that I think what you're hearing is a bad mix, because the speakers that, you know, they're 5-inch cones. Like granted, like some of them are made of different materials that aren't as good at producing sound. And yes, there is a big difference between really good speakers and not such good speakers. But if what you're playing through a speaker already doesn't sound good, it's not going to sound better playing it through a great speaker. It's that simple. So with the games that I work on, I try to make sure that everything that's coming out of it is mixed as if I was mixing, you know, a track for a trailer, and have it be cut through all the moments that are supposed to. We have priority buses for like important sound effects like jackpots and things like that, to make sure that they really cut in and you get that dopamine rush when the jackpot happens, all the way down to like, you know, call outs, which have their own independent ducking as well. So the music gets side chained as well from call outs. So
that's wild. So you want to essentially do sound effects, all the sound effects for your game first, and then add the music with that ducking. What do you call it?
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, I found out about what the theme was for Winchester well before I had produced like sound design for it. And I had started writing the music tracks just to get kind of like in the mood of what I thought the whole like vibe was going to be for it. And then when we got to the point of putting sound effects in, I was able to see what was and what wasn't working. And I remember, because I went pretty aggressive with like how weird I was, like, I want to do this FM sounds. And, you know, Barrels was just like, okay.
Show us.
You know? Right. And, you know, and David is great at not poo-pooing any ideas until it's actually heard, or, you know, find out whether it does or doesn't work. And once they started coming together, and I was just like, this is going to work. It's unique and it's special. And I, you know, Barrels likes to take risks, which is cool. Yeah. Like, so they gave me like a pretty good amount of creative freedom there. But anyways, I don't know. Hopefully that answers your question.
They take risks, but they have very good judgment on the people that they take risks on. And it seems to be,
if you trust your team, it's kind of hard to go wrong.
Yeah.
I'm going to write some terrible music and some bad sound effects at some point, but you know, hopefully they make sense, or you can't hear them really well if that's the case.
No. Very cool. We got a question for you in the chat from Divisible Error.
Oh, of course. What's up? This is one of our Pinball Illuminati.
Oh, he's been pretty open about some of his harder opinions regarding vendors and pins. Has this come back negatively from those companies at him? So have you gotten any backlash from speaking your mind and opinion?
Not yet. And I think that the reason for that is whenever I make a criticism on a game, there's always a follow-up explanation on why or how it can be improved. Like, I'm not here to just shit on people's games and say that they're terrible. Like, that's not what the channel exists for. And I'm not a pinfluencer that is trying to get revenue through making content that is like controversial. I made comments about how I thought that call-outs were bad in games. And then I had the opportunity to work on Winchester, and I directed the call-outs. And I think some of them work really well, and I think some of them don't. But in general, like, I feel like I've shown like, okay, I had a criticism, and now I'm trying to show what I mean by that and how it could be better. And in general, it seems like the reception on what I'm doing with sound is pretty positive. So
very cool. What is it? I know when we talked about call outs, you were saying like it's kind of stale. Is that what you are feeling in modern call outs?
Yes.
Stuff?
100%. It's similar to, remember when I was talking about how like a sound effect like needs to have like its own moment? When your call outs read as if somebody is just like reading them off of a script, like it has no like presence to it. I think a good example of this is like, if you take like famous movie lines, like I use Jurassic Park as a good quote. Like, you know, imagine like they pull up and the dinosaurs and like, you know, the old guy from Jurassic Park gets out and he's just like, welcome to Jurassic Park. It's awful. It's so flat. But you know, instead he gets out and he's like, welcome to Jurassic Park. You know, it's got a character to it that gives it presence in the mix. And that makes for a performance. Like your call outs should be like that. And instead, there's so many more call outs in games. I think that it's a numbers issue. Like I cut dialogue, I cut call outs, or I cut dialogue for video games for quite a while. I worked on Warhammer and Call of Duty, a whole bunch of projects. And, the way they do it is it's a couple hour session depending on how much a voice actor is doing. They'll probably do more than one character. Like a lot of the really good voice actors do 3 or 4 characters in a single session. And they'll read a line. And they may read it like 4 or 5 times, and the voiceover director marks A, B, C, D for which one it is. And whichever take is best, they circle it. And then they pass it on to their editor, and then that's how they figure out which one it is. Right. So an editor's sitting down there, they're looking at the audio waveforms, and they see 5 identical waveforms. And they look at this little sheet, and they see that the 4th take is the one, the money shot, right? That's like got the best character to it. So that's the one they cut out. And the reason I mention this is because like having a real technical, like a voiceover director helping you record your pinball callouts, make sure that you get a moment. And I think that a lot of pinball companies is like, they're just like reading down the script and it's like 1 take or 2 takes per thing. And no one's telling them how to give it more energy, because a lot of the people that are recording voiceover callouts don't realize what it needs to be in a pinball machine. This isn't like sitting in a theater or like in front of your TV or on your fucking phone, right? Like this needs to be like a moment.
Yeah.
So
dude, we have to do the homebrew pinball call-out recordings.
I love that idea. Setting up a simple booth. Like it could just be like, they have this, you could do like a shower curtain. They have this really thick, like sound dampening, like curtain essentially. That way it's like portable. Set it up like a shower curtain, put it in there, put whatever sound isolation that needs to be to make sure that it's like as dampened as possible. And then have people fire off these scripts just for fun. And then have some poor soul cut it up. Matt and Don from Bash Pinball Podcast.
Oh, volunteers. Yes.
Yeah, they volunteered. Did you hear them?
I heard them.
I heard them say they would do it just now.
Yay.
Thanks, Matt and Don. But yeah, I think that's super fun. I would love to help out with that if that's something that we can make happen.
Yeah, I think so. It's just, let's do it. Yeah, we'll get Manu to do all the organizing of the post and getting it. Oh,
he's a great organizer.
I know, he's the best. He really does so much help for the community that a lot of people don't see, as far as just supporting other content creators like me help get to the finish line. He's a great cheerleader, and he's a great, like, you haven't finished this project, what are you doing? How can I help? And he will physically help you get it done. He's been such an amazing person and friend. If
you are anywhere near San Francisco, you should go to Free Gold Watch and say hi to him and thank him for his service.
Absolutely.
If anybody watching is anywhere near.
everyone go. And he has live streaming now. We'll raid him here in a minute. He also has a DJ live stream now on Twitch, which is super rad. So if you want to just hear him spin music, it's really great to listen to while you work. He's an excellent
DJ. He spun at the homebrew booth towards the end of the last day. It was awesome.
Yeah.
We were booty shaking, gambling on Danger's like single flipper contraption that he made. We found an excellent way to turn that into an excellent gambling device. So bring your Tommy dollars if he brings that to the next expo, because Anonymous, me, a few others, Joe the Dragon, we'll take you on. We got it down.
Oh, so good. Where was I? I was hosting that party. I was there somewhere.
It was right there. You know where the recording booth for it was? Where they had who was the vendor that had the like VPN it was a module that you could input. It was like a controller for virtual if you had VR. It was we had set it up like right here. Jack set it up right across from that. So
on that table. Yeah. I know. I put it there.
Yep. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. That's where it was. What am I saying? You know where it fucking was. So where were you? You should have been playing with us.
I was probably stuck in a hallway somewhere.
That game kind of a maze.
Yeah. Yeah. So. It was a great experience. We have the best times at shows. It's just being able to be with so many like-minded people and then celebrate pinball and each other is just.
The games are just games. It really is meeting and connecting with individuals that has been the most fun for me, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
And thank you again, obviously, for having me on here. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. And the whole being able to host the sound effects thing on something other than like my private Dropbox and actually being able to get it out to the people. Cause a lot of homebrewers could get their parts from Marco. It makes a whole lot of sense. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited you're coming out to TPF, and we should definitely collab on something there.
Let's do
And
it.
if y'all are working on games and you want to come bring your game to Texas, the registration's open right now. We're also doing a tech day, which is on Wednesday, and it is where people can bring their games early, and we're gonna have some like good techs in there to help not get your game working for you. That's not the purpose, but
help you
to
learn how to get your
coach
own game
you.
working.
Yeah, so it's like you haven't done a flipper rebuild, which is like one of the number one mechanical things you should learn about your game to keep it playing well. You can come get a flipper rebuild kit from us for really cheap, and then have someone like Todd Tuckey walk you through how to install it on your game and stuff. So we have like Todd Tuckey, who everyone knows from TNT Amusements. He's an absolute legend in arcade and pinball. He'll be there. He's really good at troubleshooting games. Like he knows every board system like crazy.
I mean, he's been doing it for hundreds of years. I mean, Todd's got to be he's got to be 200 or 300 years old at this point, right?
Easily. And Eugene Mosh, which he's from Springfield, Missouri. He's a legendary board repair person as well. And the technical knowledge these two have alone are just amazing. Nick Shell from the Roanoke Pinball Museum, who really knows a lot about electromechanical games and how to keep them working. So we're building like this really cool team of technicians from all around the country to just come in on their own community service and own dime, just to help give their knowledge to us. So
sure,
it's a perfect time
if you have stuff you can't figure out on your game, what a resource to have all of these people to be able to help kind of brainstorm it. That's insane.
Yeah, Matthew Talley from Lynn's Arcade will be there too. Philip Forrester from the Phil's Pinball. Lynn's Arcade has a bunch of your pyramids all over the place. I don't know if you know that.
Awesome. I don't, but we've been sending them out to all sorts of fans. We just get pinged by fans that are just like, I would love to get some magnets. So we've been shipping them out and hoping that they place them all over. Just take over. Got to summon the Great Pyramid.
I got to summon the Great Pyramid. I know we need some in the Southeast.
I'm right.
So I'll send you some cash to send me a stack of pyramids.
You don't have to send me cash. I'm doing this for the money. I'm doing this for the Great Pyramid.
So cute. Can you, before we go, can you give us the history of the Great Pyramid and all
Sure. I talked about it a little bit. I mean, the lore is really simple. It's just the Great Pyramid is on Twilight Zone, and that was the first game that I did the sound package for. The power field has got the Great Pyramid on it. Is like a kind of like an iconic part of the artwork that is in Twilight Zone. And when I was making the channel, I was just like, I don't know, I'm a little weird dude. And I was like, I want to have this fun gimmick. And I was like, it'd be funny if it was a cult. And I was like, why don't we make a pinball cult? Why not? Yeah. And then the Great Pyramid was staring at me in the face. And I was just like, that's it. It's the Great Pyramid. It's the whole story.
It is a pinball cult though, right?
Yeah, we have a Discord set up that is the Cult of Pinball. Anybody's welcome in the Cult of Pinball, I swear. Unless you're some sort of racist asshole or something. Other than that, if you enjoy playing pinball, you're welcome in the Cult of Pinball. It's that easy.
I feel like you need to do a sound package at least for Black Pyramid too. And any other game that have pyramids in them. Ripley's.
We're going down the list. I need to get a few. So I need a Mystic. I had a Time Warp, which it has a really excellent pyramid on the back glass, but I sold that a long time ago because banana flippers suck ass, and it's not a fun game with regular flippers. It's not a fun game. I mean, the whole point of that game is the banana flippers. So flipping them out, swapping them,
What if you put them upside down?
Like backwards bananas?
Backwards bananas.
And Abass? Anasab? I can't do that. I don't know.
Senab.
I'm going to have to type this out to figure it out. Come on, chat. Help us out. How do you? It's Sananab. Sananab.
Install Sanababs.
You're right. My bad. So yeah, the Illuminati community has been hazing me to get all of the games that have a pyramid on them and a raven. So I have to get 5 pinball machines that I'm gonna probably not play a whole lot just because they have pyramids. Stargate, of course.
Yeah, duh, Stargate. The freaking dude comes out of
Yeah.
the pyramid. I have a
It's the
Stargate.
most pyramid-y game
I
you
love
could
Stargate.
possibly. It makes sure to remind you that there's a pyramid in it all the time too.
Yeah, it does.
It's constant call-out nightmare. Hey, Manu's here.
Yeah.
So much for. We were just talking about how amazing Manu is.
He says, "What does Jeff think of hard bodies?" He likes it. He's not like
I love
he keeps
hard
saying
bodies.
Raven is better, even though he's never played it. But
Not in person. I've only played the virtual one because I've been living a lie. Do I have a Discord? Is the link on my Twitch page? Yes, it is. Someone helped me figure out how to do a permanent link. So, yes.
What do you mean by a permanent link?
Apparently, if you copy a link from Discord to give it to somebody, it's like only temporary. You have to have like a special link that generates like a permanent one that people can use.
I need to learn that too.
So one of our community educated me, which is, I got to be honest, one of the other great things that I love about doing this is that I've learned so much about pinball from people joining the channel and talking to me about pinball. Because I'm not like the Mr. Pinball. I don't know everything. And part of the fun for me is learning this shit from other people. Like I learned the flipper code for Lord of the Rings, like the bashed Gary Stern secret.
Can you teach that to us real quick? I don't remember.
Sure.
I don't know what it is, and I have a Lord of the Rings. I'd love to know.
It's 6 left flips and then a right flip, 9 left flips and then a right flip, 6 left flips and then a right flip, and then 9 left flips and then a right flip, I think. And if you do that, it'll do like the Balrog growl. You have to do this before you start a game. It'll do a Balrog growl, and then when you start that game, it will when you get into Bash Balrog mode, every time you hit it, it has Gary Stern's face in the back glass. There's a clip of it on my shit, but it's pretty great.
Whoa. How does it, like in the DMD? It has like a pixelated Gary Stern? It's got a
pixelated Gary Stern. Still very white hair and very old. and he's getting hit by it's just his back. It's his head over the Balrog in dots. It's awesome. Yeah.
Oh my God. Learning so much new things today. I know. Now I'm going to have to go play. Do you put flipper codes in games? Like,
I would love, so I love Easter eggs, but it really just isn't my call. There are a handful of Easter eggs that Eric has put in for me that I didn't know about, that I found that I thought was pretty hilarious. But I love putting secret stuff in games for people to find. And if I have the opportunity to do that with sound, I will make sure to do that at every opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know the Gary T-Rex code for Kong?
I don't know the Gary T-Rex code.
Me neither.
I would love to know what it is because I have a Kong.
Do you know
I think Kong is incredibly underrated. Code? I don't.
I know Jack has some code, and when you do it on the Stern games, it pops up his little logo thing. Too cool for school. Well, y'all, it was just a great conversation with Jeff. We should have more.
Thank you. I would love to.
I'm excited to hang out with you at shows and do some more. Other things I was thinking about, because I'm always like, when we're having conversations, having a side conversation in my head. If you would be interested, it would be really cool if you ran a seminar like the tutorial you just showed us about sound design at Golden State Pinball Festival. Because we run Pinball University, so I'm like in this space all weekend long, just trying to fill up with cool educational content like that, and I think that would be really rad.
If people are interested in trying to learn how to do some fundamental sound design for their pins, like I'm happy to share the knowledge. Absolutely. I don't have secrets. Anybody can figure out how to do this stuff, so I'm happy to share that knowledge.
Very cool. We had Manu helped done like seminars on like how to use OBS, and Michael Madsen how to set up live streaming rigs, and then like actual pinball repair stuff too. So we try to cover like all aspects at that show. So come on. I was trying to find Mystery Pinball Theater, but if he's in our chat, then he's not streaming. So
I don't think Manu's streaming if he's busy chatting with us.
Let's see.
I'm just gonna since I wrote bananas
minutes ago. Why did he change his? What did he say?
I wrote bananas to know how to write it backwards, so I'm gonna send that to chat.
Sanabs.
It's a really important message.
Sanab. Sanab.
Sanabad.
Sanana. I hope everyone gets a visceral feeling like I do when they hear that doodad.
I do love that we stumbled onto Zelda in the middle of trying to show people how to do sound design.
Totally. Oh, well, Jojo Dojo is online. So
Oh, Joe's awesome.
Yeah.
I met Joe at Expo. He's a nice guy.
Yeah,
he was playing X-Men last, I think.
He's a really cool dude. So we're going to go raid him today. And next week is your awesome interview potentially with.
Yeah, the Ray Tanzer's coming up. Most of the views come from when it's on VOD. I like to surprise people when it goes up, but it's generally Tuesdays at noon. But again, I'm not totally sure what his schedule is. I got to ping him Friday and then go from there. But yeah, we will be doing an entire episode dedicated to Bone Busters. You're welcome, Internet. The fucking podcast you didn't know you needed.
We did. How amazing. Yeah, bring it back. I'll do all of those games.
Ooh, Sign Out's I want to see Keith's cat. So Keith came up to me at Expo and mentioned how much he fucking loves what I was doing. And it absolutely made my whole fucking trip. Because I met Keith at Pins and Needles, with Molly back whenever. Like he helped me try to figure out how to repair my Road Kings when I bought this shitty ass $300 pinball machine that had acid board damage, which is fine. Road Kings it's not a great game. But it is a pinball machine, and when you're getting into the hobby, so it was just kind of a neat moment.
Yeah, he's so nice. He's a really nice guy.
I gotta put this sign out, this Godzilla code in.
So Godzilla has a picture of Keith's cat. So it's 6 left. Oh wait, what is that first? I can't read what that says. A B?
B. I don't know if that's a typo or not. What does B mean? You got to bang the glass, and then 6 left, 1 right, 12 left, 1 right, 14 left, 2 right.
6 left, right, 12 left, right, 14. Golly. B means both.
Oh, B means both. Okay, that's critical info. I'm putting this in our Discord so that I don't forget.
Yeah, that's perfect. I'm gonna screenshot it or take a quick picture so I can try in about an hour when I go to my arcade. All right. Super cool. There's got to be like a list somewhere, right? Of all of them.
Of flipper codes?
A flipper code.
I would hope so, right? Someplace. I like finding them organically through people in chat,
I know.
though.
It's like,
I feel like going through and just knowing
it.
all the secrets.
I don't want to search for it, but surely there's like a tomb of like all the flipper codes.
That would be a pretty cool. I know you had suggested the other day doing Marco Pinball electrolyte saltwater to stand in for your pinball repairs.
I handed that perfectly buttoned up
passed that baton on
for Pinball Life. Scott,
the
engineer mastermind, to make his conductive juice brine.
Here's a freebie though. You could do a flipper code handbook that has different games with their flipper codes in it for people to take around to arcades.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Then you can look at Keith's cat on the go instead of at home.
I love it. That's a great idea. I want to do flashcards that is just all the code names for games.
Mm-hmm.
For all the Stern games. You just like hold up Goonies.
It was Buck. I think Buck was what the new Star Wars was.
Yeah,
that was the code name for that one.
Yep. Do you know? We're gonna test you real quick on while we're setting up this raid. Do you know Goonies?
I'm gonna do terrible. I don't. I mean, I know Goonies, but
Stranger Things.
I don't know. I don't know what the code word was for it. What was it?
No, I mean Goonies was the code word for Stranger Things.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
And then
I know Jaws was the code for Jurassic Park, right?
Yeah. Yep. Falcon. Do you know what that was the code name for?
I'm going to guess Mandalorian.
That's a good guess. I don't think anyone would guess this. It's very crazy lore, but Foo Fighters, and it's the name of the Foo Fighters tour bus that they ride in.
Okay,
Falcon.
Cool.
That like beat up old van. It's not. Yeah, it's a van, not a bus.
I like that the code words are you could kind of figure out the game if you know a very specific amount of information, you know?
Yeah, it's like an Easter egg in itself, so it's really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't think of any. James Bond had a really interesting one. One day we'll have those cards, and then you guys can see all the code words.
That's cool. I want those cards.
Yeah.
If you make them, let me
yeah.
know. I will
Jimmy.
absolutely buy some.
There's one, Jimmy. Do you know what was Jimmy?
Do I know what Jimmy? No.
That
Just the
one.
word Jimmy?
Yeah. Jimi, if it makes any difference. I don't know where the context of that one came. But that
Pez
was
posted
Metallica.
Pez posted a link to flipper codes. So we got to steer clear from that so we don't get any spoilers.
But all right, we're going to JoJo Dojo. See you guys next week. Goodbye. Thanks
everybody.
So much, Jeff. Oh, wait. What's the little
Go play some
pyramid
pinball.
sign out thing? I want to do this with you. Oh,
you got to say, all praise the Great Pyramid.
All praise the Great Pyramid. I'm drinking the juice. I'm in. Count me in.
It's good Kool-Aid. There's no poison in it, I promise. Just pinball love.